Okay, so we are talking about how to share a Flutterflow project. Now, when we're talking about sharing, we could be talking about a couple of things. One could be we've built an app and we want to share it with the world. We want to share it with our friends, our family, whatever, our group, our business. Or the other type of sharing is we want to share our project with our developers so we can collaborate in building it, or we can pass the ownership of the project over to somebody else, and we can look at all of those things. So firstly, we're going to look at how to share a project with the world that you've completed. So I'm not talking about app stores. We're not going to be publishing to Google Play and the App Store in this particular video. It's purely publishing to web, and you can do this from any Flutterflow plan. You can do it on the free plan. You can do it on obviously the other plans as well. So basically what you do, you go into the settings tab, and this assuming you've got an app working, you've had it in test mode, everything functions, you've got no errors, and then you're ready. You can publish it to the web and you can use it like a web app. Now this particular app I've got on the screen is a mobile app. I'm sure you're aware we can build web apps as well for desktop. So let's have a look at one of those. So here we are, we're in a desktop web app, and this particular template, this is my AI text to speech template. I've also got a mobile version as well. So, but the process is the same for both types of apps in this particular type of sharing. So what we're going to do, we are going to be publishing it to web, and what we do, we go into settings and we go web deployment, and basically this is the web deployment page, and what you need to make sure is that your site URL is completed, and Flutterflow will check if it's available. It should be, and it will be published to their server. So it's your URL.flutterflow.app. It's not your own URL, it's a Flutterflow URL. And the other thing you need to do, if you're publishing a mobile version, you need to toggle on the, we don't have to, but I'd advise you to toggle on the progressive web app. So what that does, if you're publishing this version as a mobile app, what the PWA is, it means it allow your user to install it on a device, or on the case of an Apple, it is add to home screen. But when your user opens the app, it will look and behave like a native mobile app. They're a very handy thing to use. And then the other sort of option will be show watermark or not. If you have the free version of Flutterflow, you won't be able to toggle it off. And what will happen is when you publish, there'll be a built with Flutterflow little image down in the bottom corner here. So I will switch it off, but you can't in the free version. So once you've done that, essentially you just click publish. There's some other options here. These are all optional really. So to share your app that you have built that functions and you want your user to get access to, and you want to be able to install it on the device via a PWA, a progressive web app, all you need to do is come in here, make sure you've got a URL and click publish. There are some other options in terms of custom domains and things. Again, these are not available on the free tier, and then they do charge you to use custom domains anyway. I'm going to be doing a video, I've had a request for it to publish Flutter apps outside of Flutterflow. That's into web. That's going to come in the next couple of weeks, I think. So that's it. That's how you share a complete app for somebody to use and share it around your company, around your group, your friends, whatever. And it is really, really simple. So you can build really quick and ship your app as a progressive web app or just a standard web app on desktop version or whatever, really fast. And this is how you do it, and it's really quick. So the second sort of sharing we're talking about is if you're sharing with fellow developers, or you want to pass the template over to somebody, or whatever it is. And these are two slightly different things, but we're going to talk about both of those. And the first one is if you want to collaborate with people. So if you've got a project and you're the project owner and you want to collaborate with other developers, whether they be your friends or some subcontractors you're using for different parts of your app or whatever it may be, this is how you do it. So you go into settings and you go into collaboration, and basically this is where we can invite people to our project. So you can have project level access and you can have branch level access. So basically what you can do, you can share access to the whole project or to individual branches with different users. So all you do, you click invite user, enter the email address, and you send them an invite. Then it'll show up in their Flutterflow dashboard, and then they will be able to edit the project. Now on this top section, you can provide read-only access to all Flutterflows. So if you toggle one of those, basically you'll be able to give all Flutterflow users read access only to your project if you want to do that. And also with that, you can then hide the duplicate so they can only read, they can't copy it, which is similar to making your project public so you can share the URL. So I'm going to just go over that one in a second though. So let's go back to this. So basically you invite a user. So when you add another user, you see I've put one on here, and you get a drop down here when you can change their permissions, and you can make those the owner, a manager, or editor, which is the default, or you can make them read only, or you can move them. So basically to add additional users to help work on your project, and that's either with branch level access or with project level access. That's how you do it, and you can control the permissions of what that particular person can do. So for sharing a project for collaboration, as in developing a project together, that's how you do it. So the final one of these is making a project public, and what I've just already seen, essentially you can give all Flutterflow users access here and hide the duplicate button, or the other option you can do. So what that will do, that will give all Flutterflow users who have the URL access to your project, but they can't duplicate it. And then the other option you can do, if you go up here with the share project button, and you've got your project URL, and what happens is this will make your project public. So you can make it public, copy the URL, and then you can share that URL with other users so they can then clone your project. So if you don't want them to clone it, you do it this way and then hide the duplicate button. If you do want them to clone it, you can do it this way and share the URL to whoever you want. If you, for instance, looked at the templates on rapidmvp.co, you'll see, if you've downloaded one of the free ones or whatever, you'll see that this is how you get it. You'll be given a project URL, which you go and duplicate. So that's how you do it. That's how you share a project. So there's 3 ways of doing it. Share it for a completed app for users to get access to and start using. Share it with developers so you can collaborate on a project, and then share the actual Flutterflow project itself so people can either read it, view it, or indeed duplicate it. That's it. That is how you share a Flutterflow project. Hopefully that was of use. And if it was, please consider, as always, like and subscribe, and I will speak to you in the next video.